On the island of Newfoundland, upon the southwest coast, lies the little town of Virgil, to whom I'll sing this toast. There are so many highlands that lie just off her shore, and when the cold north wind blows, you can hear the billows roar. The people from the village make their living from the sea. They like their independence, it shows that they are free. Some fish in their small boats in the wind, the rain and sleet, while others make their living on the offshore trawler fleet. They've known their share of tragedies down through the years, and when the memories overcome, they show their grief with tears. For they have lost some loved ones to the furies of the seas, for heartaches and heartbreaks are locked in memories. This village, it's got beauty carved on its rugged shore. 7 miles of pure white sand, who could ask for more? The mountains and the valleys where the rivers run so fast, and the salmon rise to the sportsman's fly as he makes another cast. Now the people of this village love their native home, for anyone who goes away oh surely will return. Just like that lifelong mystery, the answer you won't know. What makes this rugged village burn so deeply in your soul? What makes this rugged village burn so deeply in your soul?
Good evening, and welcome to This Week in Review. Tonight in our stories we have Girl Guide Spa Day, Small Business Week, Internet Update. Please stay tuned for these stories after this. Try Your Luck and Play TV Bingo, sponsored by the grad class. Cards are 6 for $5 and can be bought from any grad student or most stores around town. On Sunday, the guiding movement had a fun day in the parish hall. The theme was Day at the Spa. Each girl was pampered with massages, foot rubs and baths, manicures and pedicures, and facials. The day was extremely enjoyed by all. During this time, 2 other commissioners had come out for a visit. One spoke to me and explained what it was all about.
I'm Judy Shanahan. I'm Provincial Commissioner for Girl Guides of Canada in Newfoundland and Labrador. And 2010 is the 100th anniversary of guiding in Canada. And part of my, challenge for the 100th anniversary is to visit 100 units across the province And that's why I'm out in Burgeo, and traveling with me is Pat TWIR. She's the Deputy Area Commissioner for Long Range Trails. And we've been on the road now since Wednesday. We've traveled like a good bit of the west coast, left Port aux Basques this morning. And then when we leave here, we're heading back then and doing some visiting in around Corner Brook and Deer Lake. Then heading later this week to a conference in Gander. And then from there traveling to Harbour Breton, St. Albans, and then ending up next Thursday night at a Halloween party in Random Island.
The past week is a Small Business Week through the Long Range RID Board. Small businesses are highly beneficial to their community. The RID Board's featured small business was Reach Road Auto. Reach Road Auto has been operating in Burgeo for the past 12 years. Owner Rick Blagden started his business as a retail store, selling snowmobiles, outboard motors, and car parts and accessories. He later expanded into a complete automotive service and repair garage, where he has been certified for the past 9 years by the government of Newfoundland and Labrador to perform safety inspections. He also has an automobile sales lot and confectionery store. This past week, Rick was in Stephenville to receive the Art of the Community Award for Small Businesses. Congratulations, Rick, on your achievements. BBS President George Reid came by the studio to give us an update. Good evening. In our studios tonight, I have with me George Reid, who is the president of the BBS. Good evening, George.
Good evening.
So you got an update on the BBS Internet for us?
Yes, I thought we get together before the end of before the next directors meeting and give an update to where we are.
Okay.
I remember the last one I gave you. It was a while ago.
Yeah,
I think
just
after we had all the switch over done. I think from wireless to the cable system.
Yes, okay.
Well, that's been done and seemed to be working very well. But one thing you learn about this business, if you've been into it very long, there's never any shortage of problems. Absolutely never ending. What we had to do to finish the project off was to put 2 new antennas up in the tower in Grand Brett. We found out that once we got the system, all the hookups done, we still found out we had a problem. And the problem was stemming from the antennas in Grand Brett were gone.
Okay.
And they weren't totally gone. There were interference there. And we're operating on, we're buying from Alliant 30 megs, and our radios were capable of 90 megs, but they were only operating around 20 megs. So there was a problem with the interference. Tracked it down to, it was the towers in Grand Brett. It was the antennas in the tower in Grand Brett. Well, in between that, of course, the antenna in Rose Blanche, one of the antennas in Rose Blanche gave out.
Okay.
In between that, the radio, one radio or 2 radios in the tower in Burgeo up Foxburn, that gave out. So there've been a mess of problems, one on top of the other one. We fixed the one in Rose Blanche. We fixed the radios in Burgeo, but the biggest problem we had was getting someone to climb the tower in Grand Brett. It turned out that Claude has got something wrong with both his wrists from years of climbing towers and doing this work. So he couldn't climb it. Or I assume he can't climb probably anymore. I don't know, because he's going to see now whether or not he's got to have an operation on his hand wrist.
Okay.
So therefore that just left Dave. So that means we couldn't have Dave climbing that tower in Grand Brett by himself.
The tower's 250 feet. And it's not the best tower in the world. It doesn't have a safety rail on it, and you're on the outside of the tower, and you're climbing on all the way up there, and anything happened, you got nobody there to help to get them down, and this type of thing. You know, it's just not safe. It just couldn't be done, you know. So then, therefore, we had to wait to get someone in, to hire someone from outside,
Yes.
to bring them in to go to Grand Bret and help Dave. Besides that, of course, weather,
Yes.
you know. So now, in order to get all these things to cooperate, it took a long time.
Yes,
And
okay.
it took up until, I guess, it was last week that they finally went up and got it put together. So the antennas in Grand Bret are there. Hopefully that they're secure, and hopefully that they're giving the results that we anticipated getting. And what happened, I guess, now that hopefully that there'll be more reliability. The reliability of the internet will be better. And I've said that a number of times on this program, but this is what they tell me with change in with the new antennas. Hopefully the reliability will be there. In other words, we got 30 megs, so our radios now are showing that they can handle something like 70, 80 megs.
Okay.
So, you know, there's a little bit of fine tuning that still got to be done in Burgeo, in the two antennas in Burgeo that connects Burgeo with Grand Bret. A little bit of fine tuning that's got to be done there. Last time when Dave had to do that, it was raining and wet and
Yes,
that,
okay.
and therefore you think he probably got a bit of moisture in some of the cables, and he's got to fine tune it with Grand Bret. That'll be done within the next day or two. Probably be done by the time this gets aired.
Yes, okay.
Now, I suppose that's we've spent about $90,000 in that ball field on this upgrade. The company, BBS, did not have to borrow any of that money,
Okay, that's good.
and we managed to pay for it and out of our own resources and still stay in the black, you know.
Good.
So, yeah, that's where we're still right at the moment.
Oh, very good. So what's the outlook for the future now that this part is done?
Okay, that's a good question. The future, of course, what is going to be done, of course, will be determined by the next board of directors. And I suppose some of the things that probably to be leaning towards would be buying more bandwidth.
Okay.
You know, 30 megs is still not very much, but considering we started with, I think, 2 or 3 megs, whatever it was that we started with in the beginning here, now we're up to 30 megs.
Yes.
So, you know, steady climbing, and the demand is there, because Dave told me just, I think a couple of days ago, that the usage was 29.8 megs that we were using. So,
Okay,
you know,
yeah,
so,
that's almost all of it.
just about all of it. So, I mean, it just shows that we need 50, 60, 70, 80, you know, 100 megs, whatever, you know. I guess the sky's the limit, because the more megs that you got, then the faster the speed you got,
Okay.
and so forth. So I guess what the future would be, that the company certainly would have to be looking at buying more megs, more bandwidth. That's one thing for sure. The other thing, of course, they would have to be looking would be the hooking up to the fiber optic in Burgeo. There's fiber optic over on Smalls Island. Now, a lot of people think that BBS just won't go and hook up to it. And, you know, but I just want to kind of set the record straight here. It's over there, but it's not usable.
Okay.
You know, they tell us that fiber optic over on Smalls Island, the cable that's going down the Long Beach shore there, won't be usable until the fall of 2012.
Okay.
You know, so it doesn't make any difference what we offer them now. You know, to buy the fiber optic. BBS can't get any fiber from them, so we have to go the way we're going now, the wireless. And of course, with these antennas and up in these towers, and with the wind that we get here, and you know, it's just going to be constant problems. There is no doubt about that. Absolutely. So I suppose while we're waiting for the fiber to be open here in Birchville to get connected up to that, you know, the possibility is to buy more megs is one. The other one, I suppose, is buy bigger and better radios.
Okay.
You know, and again, that would be another upgrade for the future.
Okay.
But, you know, but we've just done one, and we did what we thought we could afford at the time. You know, and so that's done. So I guess that's where the future is. I don't think you'll be running out of problems until you can get hooked up to the fiber optic in, you know, that's running down the coastline there.
Okay.
You know, once you get hooked to that, I got a feeling that'll take away most of your problems that you're having. Of course, that breaks, then there's nothing we can do about it. That breaks, you got to wait till the company fixes the fiber.
Yes.
But I guess that would be the biggest and best improvement that could happen for the internet here in Birchville.
Okay.
Yeah, no doubt about that.
What about on the cable side of the company? Do you think there'll be any more upgrades to that, or?
Well, I assume you mean will there be any more channels added?
Yeah, things like that.
Probably because the television itself is working very well. Anyone who's been outside of Birchville, turning on the television anywhere, as far as I'm concerned, I mean, I've been, I suppose, from Hartwell to St. John's to Birchville. I've been staying at different motels and that. And I have not seen anything as good as we got here. Well, I'm probably a bit biased, you know, but I haven't seen anything any better. So let's put it that way. So our cable system is very, very good. There's no doubt about it. And I guess what we do need is more channels. And I guess if we haven't had so much trouble with the internet trying to perfect that or get it to the point where we got it now, you know, there would have been lots of money there to, you know, to improve or not improve it, but to give more channels. So I would say that would be the board of directors would probably be would have to look at that again, you know, to see what they can do for adding more channels, you know, because what we've been doing in the past is adding channels and absorbing the cost. In other words, your company has been absorbing the cost and paying for it, and the people has got the benefit of an extra channel or two, and that's been happening as time went on. So it's the kind of thing I think that the board of directors would like to do now is to add more channels and not increase the rates. I mean that would be the best of both worlds. You know, you get more channels and not have to pay anymore. But that's something the board would have to look at for the future. They stay out of trouble on the internet side. You know, if the problems can slow down here for a while, you know, and gives a break. You know, you don't have to buy so much gear and replacements and that. You know, probably new channels could be added fairly soon, type of thing. You know, and we also, at the same time, BBS Wireless, which is the other arm of BBS, we're running that system in the internet system in Codry Valley, the one that we bought there 2 years ago, I guess now. You know, we're operating that. We're doing fairly well with that. We're making money with this system. Of course, that's where a lot of the money has come from to upgrade our own system here. You know, what we're making with our other business, and we've been carrying out some improvements to the system up there also.
Yes.
I think up to this point, I think we've carried out around $30,000 of improvements in the Codry system. So we're trying to improve their internet too.
Yes.
So, you know, all in all, this, and of course, Dave and Claude have been going out of town doing projects in other places. They did a project in Gross Moore Park for Parks Canada. They installed the internet up there. And, you know, there's various places that they've been going to do other projects that they find time to do, you know, when we're not tied up totally in Virgil.
Okay.
So, future looks great that way, I guess, you know. I mean, you know, not without its problems, of course, but you know, looks all right. Mm.
Okay, well, very good. Anything else you need to add there, George?
Well, yes, there's one thing I got to mention or just remind the subscribers out there. All subscribers are eligible to be a director of BBS, and the rules on BBS is that every 2 years there's a meeting every 2 years of all subscribers, and that this year the meeting is going to be held in at the community center on November 26th. I think that's a Tuesday, right?
Yes.
26th, yeah. Right after the bingo game. Okay. So the theory behind that, of course, was to have it after the bingo game. We were hoping that a lot more people would stay because they were already outdoors, and husbands coming up picking up their wives or whatever the case might be, they would stay, and you know, you'd have a fair-sized audience. It hasn't proved out to be that most people just for some reason or other don't seem to have too big an interest to stay and get elected and become one of the directors. But you know, if you want to be a director of BBS, I guess you just attend the meeting, get nominated, and there's 10 directors that have to serve, and I think there's 5 alternates that you can have, and it's for a 2-year period. And then these directors become the running officers for the company. They'll run the company for the next 2 years. So anyone having any great desire to, I know a lot of people have been browned off for how the company has been doing over the last number of years, and there's times they haven't been browned off any more than I have been myself, you know, and I'm sure the other directors have felt the same. But I'm sure everybody have tried to do their best for the 2 years they've been here, and you know, so if anybody feels that they can, you know, add to it, or take it in a different direction or a better direction, or just simply want to be a part of the running the BBS, then just attend the meeting, get yourself nominated, and then go from there. You know?
But the meeting, the people, to say if they didn't want to be on the board, but they wanted to air some grievances, they could come to that meeting and do that as well, right?
Oh yes, oh yes. It's a public meeting. It's a public meeting for all subscribers. In other words,
because some people might get scared off, thinking, "Oh, I go to the meeting, I'm going to be on the board of directors," kind of thing, right?
You don't have to take you don't have to accept the nomination. You know, if you don't want to. You know, and once it becomes passed, once there's more than 10 nominated, it becomes an election. Then of course, you know, but you don't have to accept nominations. Oh no, you just simply sit in the audience and ask questions. The charter accountant will be there, Gord Janes, a representative from Bon Alcone Janes. He'll be there to ask any questions in relationship to the finances of the company.
Okay.
The company gets financed every year by charter accountants. You know, there's a financial statement that's issued every year. And so, anybody want to ask any questions about that? He'll be there to answer the nitty-gritties of the statement. We'll be there. The directors who were in town, I guess, will be there, and they can answer whatever questions they feel comfortable in answering. And Claude will be there, and Dave will be there, and I assume you'll be there. So everybody will be there. So if anybody want to ask questions or listen or whatever the case may be, then you know, it's an opportune time to listen, I guess, or hear, or speak up, or ask. You know, whatever I do.
Okay. Well, very good. Well, thank you so much for coming in and giving us this update.
Oh, you're welcome.
This concludes our program for tonight. Thank you for watching. Good night.